Imagine a quiet room filled with light. A woman in her late 70s gently places candles on a birthday cake. It's meant to be for her older brother's 82nd birthday. She smiles softly, but the smile fades. He never made it. He seemed healthy. He walked every morning. He joked with the grandkids. And yet, something silent, invisible, took him too soon. Have you ever noticed how many seemingly healthy seniors pass away before 82, often without any warning? No dramatic illness, no long hospital stay, just a sudden decline. It's not what you think. Not always heart disease, not always cancer. It's something far quieter, far more common, and far more preventable than most realize. I'm not here to scare you. I'm here to show you what no one else will. Because once you understand what's really happening behind this number, 82, you'll never see aging the same way again. You'll see it not as a slow fade, but as a system that either supports your life or silently lets it slip away. In this video, you'll learn 6 powerful reasons why many older adults don't make it past 82, and how each one can be reversed, slowed, or softened with small, daily changes. This is not about miracle cures or expensive treatments. This is about simple corrections, things we stop doing after 60 that quietly open the door to decline. Things like why mild dehydration is killing energy and brain function by 75, why your legs give out years before your heart does, and how one silent belief, "It's too late now," shortens more lives than disease ever will. But we start with something deeper, not a vitamin, not a symptom, but a signal, the first quiet warning sign your body gives when the timeline begins to shorten. Because that's what this is really about, not adding years to your life, but protecting the years you still have. If you're watching this and you're over 60, or love someone who is, stay with me. This might be the most important health conversation you've had in years. And if you've ever seen someone fade too soon, after 78, 80, 81, but not 82, then you already know this truth lives close to home. Let's begin with the first silent killer, one you can feel in your bones, literally, but almost everyone ignores. Joe was 79 when his doctor asked him, "Have you had any falls lately?" He laughed. "No, doc, I'm steady as ever." But just a few weeks later, Joe stumbled on his front steps. Not because he was dizzy, not because he tripped, but because his legs simply didn't react fast enough. He didn't break anything, but something did break that day, his confidence. From then on, he avoided stairs. Then he stopped walking to the park. Then the weight came, the sleep worsened, and within months, his entire health declined. All because his muscles were slowly weakening, and he didn't even know. Here's the truth that surprises most seniors. Your strength doesn't disappear suddenly. It evaporates slowly, quietly, invisibly. After 60, your muscles shrink by about 1 to 2% per year. But after 70, the rate doubles, especially if you stop challenging your lower body. And this is the part many don't realize. It's not your knees. It's not your bones. It's not even your heart. It's your legs. Your legs, your quads, hamstrings, glutes, are the lifeblood of mobility, balance, and independence. When they weaken, everything else follows. Here's what begins to happen when leg strength declines. You rise from chairs more slowly. You take shorter steps. You hesitate on uneven ground. You avoid movement. Your heart rate rises with smaller effort. You lose confidence in your balance. And most people blame aging, when in fact, they're dealing with disuse. The body adapts to what it's given. And if it's not given resistance, it gives up capacity. So why does this matter for living past 82? Because studies show that lower body weakness is one of the earliest predictors of mortality in older adults. Yes, even more than blood pressure or weight. Once someone can no longer rise from a chair without using their hands, or walk 10 steps comfortably, their risk of falls, hospitalizations, and rapid decline skyrockets. Joe didn't die from a fall. He died from what came after the fall. Loss of confidence, right pointing arrow. Less movement, right pointing arrow. faster aging. What can you do today? Checkmark. Start simple bodyweight movements. Sit to stand from a chair, heel raises, slow step-ups. Checkmark. Use your muscles daily. Even small squats while brushing your teeth help. Checkmark. Walk with purpose. Faster, more stable, even if just for 10 minutes. Checkmark. Try resistance bands. Gentle but powerful. And most importantly, track how easily you stand up. This is one of the best free tests of biological age, and it changes fast when you train. You're not just trying to stay active. You're protecting your body's foundation, your power, your independence, your years. Let your legs go, and the rest follows. But train them, and you'll keep walking through life while others begin to sit still. Carol turned 80 last spring. She still cooked, read the paper, even did her morning stretches. But something had changed, not in her body, but in her spirit. She used to call her sister every morning. She used to garden with the neighbor. She used to host Sunday lunches. Now, days passed in silence. Her phone stopped ringing. Her energy slipped. She forgot small things, where the keys were, whether she'd eaten. At first, it seemed like typical aging, but her doctor saw something else, disconnection. Not from memory, but from people. Here's a truth we rarely say aloud. Many seniors begin to fade, not from disease, but from quiet, creeping isolation. It's not just sad, it's biological. Research now confirms what wise elders have felt for centuries. Social connection keeps the brain alive. People with strong social bonds live longer. They show lower rates of dementia. Their immune systems function better. Their mood stays stable. Their sense of identity stays intact. But here's the cruel part. Most people don't notice when the isolation starts. It doesn't begin with full loneliness. It begins with small changes. Saying no to lunch because you feel tired. Skipping the call because they're probably busy. Watching more TV because it feels safer than people. And each little moment quietly rewires your brain for withdrawal. So why does this matter for living past 82? Because social erosion accelerates cognitive decline faster than most physical illnesses. In fact, one major study found that loneliness is as damaging to health as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. Let that sink in. Frank was a quiet man in his 70s. When his wife passed, he withdrew. But a neighbor convinced him to join a morning coffee group. At first, he sat in silence. Then, over weeks, he began to talk, then laugh. 6 months later, his son told me, "It's like we got Dad back. He's sharper. He's alive again." Frank didn't start running marathons. He started connecting, and his brain came back online. Here's what you can do today to protect your future. Checkmark. Reach out to someone, even briefly. A text, a walk, a shared tea. Checkmark. Join a group. Faith, music, reading, anything. Routine matters. Checkmark. Be the one who calls. Many are waiting for you to reach out. Checkmark. Limit passive time alone. Music, podcasts, or walking outside still stimulate the mind. And if you've lost friends, build new ones. Yes, even after 70, you are still worthy of connection, still part of this world. Let this sink in. It's not weakness to feel alone, but it is dangerous to let it stay that way. So before we talk about pills or diets, ask yourself, who do I talk to every week? If that list is shrinking, it's time to expand your life again. The brain is not meant to fade. It's meant to connect. Have you ever noticed someone slowly fading? Not from illness, but from silence? Or maybe that someone has been you. Drop a comment below if you felt it, or if you've pulled someone back from it. Your story might help another. Walter never liked water. Tasteless, he'd say. He preferred coffee in the morning, tea in the afternoon, and a little wine at night. He wasn't a heavy drinker, and he felt fine. No dizziness, no fainting, no obvious problems. But then, the confusion began. He'd forget appointments. Lose words mid-sentence. Feel cloudy by noon, even after a full night's sleep. His kids worried it was early dementia. But a nurse noticed something simple. He wasn't drinking enough water. And when he started, within just 2 weeks, the fog began to lift. It sounds ridiculous, right? That dehydration could steal years from your life. But here's what most seniors don't know. Mild dehydration, the kind you don't even feel, is one of the most underdiagnosed drivers of early decline, especially after 60. Why? Because the older we get, the less thirst we feel, even when the body desperately needs fluid. You may not feel dry mouth, but your organs are already struggling. Your blood thickens. Your brain slows. Your joints dry out. Your digestion falters. And worst of all, your memory starts slipping. In fact, recent studies show that even a 2% drop in hydration can reduce cognitive performance, focus, and mood in older adults. And yet, most seniors drink less than half of what their body truly needs. It's not about 8 glasses a day. It's about this. Are you supporting your brain with what it's made of? Water? Think of your brain like a sponge. When hydrated, it's flexible, sharp, active. When dry, it stiffens, struggles, and slows down. That's why so many older adults feel slow or mentally tired by late afternoon. It's not always age. It's often a dry brain. And here's the kicker. By the time you feel thirsty, you're already dehydrated. So what can you do to protect your brain and your life? Starting today. Checkmark. Drink a glass of water within 30 minutes of waking before coffee. Checkmark. Set a small water bottle goal 3 times a day. Checkmark. Infuse with mint, cucumber, or lemon if plain water feels boring. Checkmark. Eat water-rich foods, cucumbers, berries, watermelon, soups. Checkmark. Limit dehydrating drinks. More than 2 cups of coffee or alcohol per day pulls fluid out of your cells. Walter didn't change his whole life. He just started treating hydration like medicine. He wrote it on a note and taped it to the fridge. Drink first, think better. And it worked. Within a few weeks, his mind was clearer, his energy more stable, and his kids stopped worrying about dementia. Remember this truth. Water doesn't just quench thirst. It protects your brain, your kidneys, your joints, your skin, your circulation, even your lifespan. You don't need a new supplement. You need to refill what your body quietly runs dry every single day. Frank used to be a carpenter. Strong hands, steady legs. He wasn't a gym guy, but he moved all day, every day. After retiring at 68, he told himself he'd earned a break. So he rested, he read, he napped, he sat more and more. By 73, he had joint stiffness. By 75, back pain. At 77, he was using a cane and didn't understand why. It's just old age, he said. But his doctor said otherwise. No, Frank, your body didn't wear out. It stopped repairing itself because you stopped moving. Here's a hard truth. After 70, your body won't heal unless you give it a reason to. We think movement is about staying fit or slim. But at this age, it's about staying alive. Literally, every time you move your muscles, something incredible happens. Oxygen surges to tissues. Nutrients circulate to repair damaged cells. Hormones rebalance. Lymph flow increases, clearing waste. Neurotrophic factors get released. These are chemicals that protect your brain. And yet, most older adults move less and less each year. Not because they can't, but because they don't realize what's at stake. You see, movement after 70 isn't about burning calories. It's about telling your body, I still need this. Because the body is efficient. It won't waste energy repairing muscle, joints, or nerves unless you send a signal through movement. Think of a parked car. Even if it's in perfect condition, if you leave it untouched for a year, what happens? The battery dies. The oil thickens. The tires go flat. Your body is no different. Why is this connected to living past 82? Because the ability to recover from a cold, a fall, stress, surgery depends on whether your systems are active and responsive. And if you're mostly sedentary, those systems begin to shut down. Not overnight, but slowly, invisibly. That's why one fall at 78 can turn into a downward spiral. Not because of the fall itself, but because the body wasn't ready to repair. Here's what you can do now. Even if you haven't exercised in years, checkmark, set a 10-minute walk goal after each meal. Walking right after eating helps glucose, digestion, and circulation. Checkmark, move all major joints every day. Arms, shoulders, hips, knees, ankles. Checkmark, stretch your spine gently, forward, side, and twist every morning. Checkmark, use light weights or resistance bands. Even 2 cans from the pantry can activate your repair signals. Checkmark, don't aim for more, aim for consistent. Frank didn't return to carpentry, but he started walking around the block each morning. Then he added light stretches, then squats to his chair. Now at 80, he still needs his cane, but he barely uses it because his body is active again. Not perfect, but alive. Here's the quiet secret to aging well. Movement isn't about what you can do. It's about what you're telling your body you want to keep doing. So if you want to live longer, you must move like someone who's still living. Helen was 76 when she heard the diagnosis. Early kidney trouble, mild cognitive decline, some heart irregularities. She nodded politely. Then she went home, sat in her chair, and whispered 4 words that would shape her final years. It's too late now. She stopped trying, stopped reaching out, stopped believing that change could matter anymore. And that belief, not the diagnosis, became her slow goodbye. Let's be honest. Every older adult has felt this. That moment when a new pain, a new doctor's report, or another funeral makes you think, what's the point of starting now? But let me tell you what no one says loud enough. It's too late is a lie, and it quietly kills more seniors than any disease ever has. Here's what happens when we internalize that belief. You stop experimenting. You stop asking questions. You stop moving mentally and physically. You stop dreaming. You start shrinking in thought, in joy, in spirit. And your body, faithful and adaptive, follows your orders. You told it, we're done. So it begins to wind down. But here's the science no one teaches in school. Your brain, your heart, your muscles, your nerves. They respond to belief. When you think you still have purpose, your immune system strengthens. When you imagine a future worth showing up for, your inflammation drops. When you decide you're not done yet, your cells actually begin to repair faster. That's not hope. That's biology. Meet Margaret. She was 81 when her grandson gave her a sketch pad. "Draw me something," he said. "I haven't drawn in 50 years, she laughed. "I'm too old." He shrugged. "Draw anyway." She did. First clumsily, then every day. 6 months later, she was teaching a sketching class at the community center. Her blood pressure improved. Her mood lifted. The doctor reduced her medication. Why? Because Margaret started living again. Here's what to remember. Checkmark. Your body listens to your mindset. Start with one small act of belief. Checkmark. Don't wait for energy. Act your way into energy. Checkmark. Say it out loud. It's not too late. The brain needs to hear it. Checkmark. Reclaim a part of you that was left behind. Music, painting, gardening, letter writing. Checkmark. Set a 30-day goal. Any goal. Just to remember how capable you still are. You're not behind. You're not finished. And you're certainly not too old to begin again. The moment you decide that life still has something left for you, you become a threat to everything that was trying to slow you down. So if you're hearing this and something stirs inside you, hold on to it. Write it down. Share it in the comments. Send it to someone who needs it. Because too late ends when you stop believing it. There's a small town in Japan where people regularly live past 90, often well into their 100s. They aren't all vegan. They don't run marathons. They don't take fancy supplements, but they do share one surprising thing. They wake up every morning with a reason to live, a reason that gets them out of bed, a reason that matters to someone else, not just themselves. They call it ikigai, loosely translated, a reason for being. And this one habit, not a food, not a workout, not a prescription, predicts longevity better than almost anything else. Here's what researchers found. Seniors who believe they still serve a purpose, even a small one, are less likely to suffer depression, more likely to recover from illness, more resilient after loss, more socially engaged, and most importantly, they live longer, not because they're lucky, but because their will to live has direction. So let me ask you this. What gives you a reason to get up in the morning? Not just routine, but purpose. Meaning, maybe it's helping a neighbor, feeding the birds, writing your memoir, reading to your granddaughter, sending prayers, making soup, planting tomatoes. It doesn't have to be grand, but it has to feel real to you. Carl was 84 when he became the mailbox man on his street. Every morning, rain or shine, he checked on the mailboxes of 4 widowed women who had trouble walking. He waved, smiled, delivered their envelopes. He didn't think it was special, but those women did. And when he fell ill at 87, they were the first ones at his hospital bed, bringing soup, stories, comfort. He made it through and lived 5 more years. Not because of medicine, because he mattered, and he knew it. Here's what you can do to find your reason, or deepen it. Checkmark list 3 things you still enjoy, and turn 1 into a gift for someone else. Checkmark, join, or start something small. A club, a project, a chat group. Checkmark volunteer, even 1 hour a week. Giving is powerful medicine. Checkmark. Teach, share, or write down what you've learned. Your story matters. Checkmark. Revisit one thing you used to love, music, baking, sketching, and ask, can this be part of my legacy? The seniors who thrive past 82 aren't just healthy. They're anchored to something, someone, some why. And that why, more than any vitamin, treatment, or diet, keeps their cells alive. Because once the spirit gives up, the body follows. But when the spirit leans forward, even just a little, the body responds. So ask yourself right now, what's my reason today? And if you don't have one, maybe this is your beginning. Not an end, not a fade, a choice to matter, to move, to live. Let's go back to the woman with the birthday cake in part 1. Must time. She lit those candles for someone who never made it to 82. Jesus. Not because of a heart attack. Not because of a sudden fall. But because of a series of small things that went unnoticed. And then, unchallenged. But now, you know what to look for. You've learned that the body doesn't just shut down one day. It drifts towards stillness, unless you fight for motion. It forgets joy unless you choose to remember what matters. And it fades not from time, but from the belief that time is no longer yours to shape. If you take just one thing from this video, let it be this. Your future is still being written, and today you picked up the pen again. Maybe that means drinking more water, or texting someone you've been thinking about, or walking around the block with your head held higher, or simply whispering, "It's not too late for me." 82 doesn't have to be a finish line. It can be a milestone, one you pass with purpose, with strength, and with love still flowing through your life. Thank you for spending these minutes with me, for caring enough to understand your body and your worth in a new way. Down finger. I'd love to hear from you. What was your favorite insight from this video? What change are you ready to make? Today, scroll down and leave a comment. Your voice matters more than you think. And if this message touched you, right finger, subscribe to Speech Balloon Longevity Talks Herb, so you never miss a reminder that growing older is not the end of life. It's the deepening of it. We'll see you in the next one. Until then, stay strong, stay kind, and stay alive.